Welcome to Period 101, Things They Don't Teach in School. I'm Kaylee.
And I'm Sydney, and we're so excited to be with you here today. And we're going to talk about all things menstruation, including what products you can use to feel comfortable and confident on your period.
But before we get started, we want to acknowledge that our goal is to share a variety of period care options and communicate their benefits. Of course, we love our products, and we are a bit biased toward reusable period care, but we firmly believe that any period care that works for you is a great period care option. So we encourage you to research and find what works best for you. There's no such thing as TMI at Saalt, so throughout the presentation, we invite you to ask questions through our chat line by texting us at 775-23-SALT. That is 775-237-2258. Well, what do you say? You want to hop in?
Sure, let's do it. So what is menstruation? All right, there's a lot to talk about in the process of menstruation, so let's start with the basics. The menstrual cycle consists of 4 phases our bodies go through each month. This starts to happen during puberty. About every 28 days, plus or minus some, because not everybody's the same, the ovaries will release an egg that travels down through the fallopian tubes to the uterus. If the egg isn't fertilized, it's released. The uterine lining is discharged as blood and fluid from the uterus through the vagina. This monthly process is called your menstrual cycle. And the time when you are bleeding is called the menstruation, or your period. People generally get their periods for the first time, which is called menarche, between the ages of 10 and 16 years old.
When people talk about getting their period, people normally only talk about the few days that you're actually bleeding. But similar to the seasons of the year, the menstrual cycle is actually a cycle we are always in, and menstruation is just one of the 4 phases of that cycle. So let's do a quick overview. First is the menstrual phase. This is the 4 to 7 days that you're bleeding. Our hormones are changing throughout the phases of our cycle. They can affect our mood and the symptoms we experience. During this phase, we like to describe it as a rainy day with scattered storms. Some may experience cramping or discomfort. Next is the follicular phase. This is post-period. For anyone who has begun menstruation, think of this as the first day after your period when you wake up. It feels like the sun is peeking through from behind the clouds and you've gained your energy back. Next is the ovulation phase. This is the phase where the egg is released from your ovary. We like to describe this as the perfect summer day. The sun is bright and hot, your body likely has high energy. This is the day that you just want to jam out to music and dance with your friends. Next is the luteal phase. In the days leading up to your period, you'll likely have some symptoms that mimic PMS. So who here has heard of PMS? There's typically a stigma surrounding PMS, otherwise known as premenstrual syndrome, but ultimately it's just our bodies telling us what we need. During this time, you may feel symptoms of PMS. Maybe you're feeling more tired or hungry, or you just want to be alone. Your body is preparing to have a period, so it can feel like an overcast day.
Know your body. Just like we think it's important to know about the menstrual cycle, we believe it's equally important to know about your body. Time for a mini anatomy lesson. The uterus is the source of period flow and where the baby grows and develops. The ovaries are where the eggs are stored. The fallopian tubes are where the eggs travel through. The cervix is where the menstrual flow comes out, which most people can actually feel their cervix. It feels a little bit like the tip of your nose, almost like a mini firm donut with a little hole in the middle. The vagina is where the menstrual flow comes out of the body. It's also where we put inserted period products like tampons and menstrual cups. We also want to point out that there are 3 separate holes in between your legs. The first hole is the urethra, which is where the urine comes out of. The middle hole is the vaginal opening where menstrual fluid comes out of, and we all know what the back hole is for. The only person who knows your body best is you. So if you have questions about your body, we recommend speaking with your medical provider.
Now that we have discussed the basics about menstruation, let's talk specifically about the menstrual flow. So your menstrual flow is made up of more than just blood. Menstrual fluid is actually made up of endometrial tissue, cervical fluid, and blood. Menstrual flow looks different from one person to another. So for some, it may be thicker and darker, and for others, it may be thinner and lighter.
So next we're going to discuss what products to use. There are a whole bunch of period care options out there, and the products you choose can range over time, depending on what makes you feel most comfortable and confident throughout your period and your life. On the screen here we have disposable and reusable options. Most of you may be familiar with tampons and pads, which are single-use products, meaning you throw them away after you use them. Some reusable options that exist are menstrual cups, period underwear, and reusable pads. These are products that can be used over and over throughout your periods with proper care and use. I want to reiterate that there is no right way to period. It's whatever way is most comfortable and works best for you. At Saalt, we specialize in reusable period care options, so we'd love to share a little bit about menstrual cups, discs, and period underwear. I'm going to pass it to Kaylee to talk about our menstrual cup.
Saalt menstrual cups are made up from 100% medical-grade silicone and are worn internally. They collect rather than absorb menstrual flow, and they can hold as much as 2 to 4 regular tampons. They can be worn for up to 12 hours before needing to be emptied, and they last up to 10 years. Saalt menstrual cups are FDA regulated. So how does the cup actually work? It collects your monthly flow rather than absorbing it like a tampon, but it fits comfortably inside your vaginal canal. The cup is first folded before inserting it. Then a seal is formed between the rim of the cup and the walls of your vagina, just below your cervix. The cup is positioned inside your vaginal canal, and for some, the stem is all the way inside, while for others, it may stick out. The stem is there to help locate your cup, but should not be pulled on for removal. Because the cup remains in place due to the seal needs to be broken in order to remove your cup. So to remove your cup, you first want to walk your fingers up the stem and then pinch the base to break the seal. Next, you'll just wiggle the cup out to remove it and dump the contents into the toilet or the sink. Cups can come with a learning curve, as do all menstrual products, so it's normal to take a little bit of practice to get the hang of it, and our team is here to help. Now, what about a menstrual disc? What are the key differences between a cup and a disc? Sydney, do you want to tell us?
Absolutely. Most menstrual cups, including the Saalt cup, have air holes near the rim that are designed to form a seal between the vaginal wall and the cup. Menstrual cups sit lower in the vaginal canal than a tampon would, whereas menstrual discs are held in place by their rim in the vaginal fornix, which is the wider space around the cervix. The Saalt disc was specifically designed with a notch to help with removal, while the Saalt cup has grip rings. Most people can use either a cup or a disc, so it's truly about personal preference. You may find that you like switching between a cup or a disc throughout your period, or you may just stick with one. One unique feature about the Saalt disc is that it can be worn during penetrative sex, while menstrual cups must be removed before sex. While most people can use either product, you may prefer a disc if you have a low cervix or weakened pelvic floor. You may prefer a cup if you have a more active lifestyle or a higher cervix. Again, truly up to you. Next, we're going to go over some of the cleaning and storage instructions when you're using a cup or disc. You'll want to remove your cup or disc once every 12 hours. When it comes time to empty your cup or disc, you'll want to rinse it clean with cool water, then wash thoroughly with hot water and mild soap. You'll want to avoid any strong cleaners or anything that may irritate your skin. We do have our Saalt wash if you ever want a wash that you know you can count on. You'll also want to make sure you sanitize your cup or disc between periods. You can do this by boiling your cup in water for 4 to 5 minutes or wiping it with a soft rag and 70% isopropyl alcohol. Then you'll want to make sure you dry your cup thoroughly and store it in a bag provided or another breathable container if you lose your bag. Never use a plastic bag or an airtight container to store your cup, as this can harbor bacteria.
You may be familiar with a menstrual cup, but have you ever tried a menstrual disc? They both collect your flow, but have some key differences, like where they're positioned, how they stay in place, and what kind of activities they can be used for. So let's go over the features. Menstrual cups are held in place by a seal formed between the cup and the vaginal walls. Menstrual discs, on the other hand, are held in place by their rim in the vaginal fornix. Pretty much anyone can wear a disc comfortably, but unlike cups, discs don't rely on suction to stay in place, making them a great option for people with an IUD or anyone who has trouble keeping their cups inserted. The Saalt disc is available in 2 sizes, small and regular. A disc can hold up to 6 tampons worth of flow, which is more than a cup. However, both provide up to 12 hours of leak-free bliss. So what about removal? For some, a disc can be easier to remove than a cup, and we've made it even easier. The Saalt disc has a removal notch you can use to effortlessly untuck your disc. Oh, and we almost forgot. Because of where the disc is positioned, you can have no mess period sex with your Saalt disc inserted. Ready to make the switch? Switch? Check out the Ready to make the switch? Check out the quiz on our website to find your perfect fit. You can also reach out to our Saalt coaches at sayhey@saalt.com or text us at 775-23-SALT.
Now we've discussed all things menstrual cups and discs, we're excited to talk a little more about another reusable option, which is our period underwear.
Cups and discs are great options for many people. However, if you haven't tried inserted products yet and want to start with a reusable option, period underwear is a great place to start. Our period underwear is called Saalt wear, and we think it's pretty rad. Saltwear is period underwear that provides great protection from leaks. It's made with moisture-separating gusset technology that wicks away wetness to leave your skin feeling drier for longer. Our thin but highly absorbent inner layer absorbs all of life's wetness, from sweat and discharge to periods and postpartum bleeding. We have several collections of saltwear, including your good old cotton to our super soft comfort collection made out of sustainably sourced modal.
Did you know Saalt makes period underwear? If not, where have you been? Hey y'all, Saalt Coach Liz here, your go-to gal for all things Saalt. This is Saltwear, our sustainably sourced, ethically made line of leak-proof underwear. We spent 3.5 years perfecting our patent-pending absorbent technology to bring you the leak-proof underwear of your dreams. It comes in a variety of styles, in a variety of fabrics, for a variety of needs. Some of those needs include period care, postpartum care, incontinence care, skin care. Oh wait, that's a different video. Saltwear works by absorbing and locking in moisture, keeping you feeling dry all day. And get this, the gusset is as thin as a single nickel. It's machine washable, so you can wash it with your normal clothes and proudly hang to dry. How many do you need? For ultimate protection, we recommend starting with a few pairs, but we promise you're going to come back for more. Need help deciding? Check out our website to find your perfect fit. You can also reach out to our Saalt coaches at sayhey@saalt.com or text us at 775-23-SALT.
So there you have it. That's an overview of the reusable period care options we provide here at Saalt. Thanks for being here and for taking the time to hear from us today.
We want to wrap up by saying that we know and acknowledge that having a sustainable period by making the switch to a reusable period care option is an investment. So thank you all for being here today, and please remember to text our line at 775-23-SALT. Again, that's 775-237-2258 to get a unique discount code. We've had such a great time chatting about all things periods. Here's Kaylee
And Sydney,
signing off.